Hi, Amy of Fashion Toppings here, and today I'm going to be making a memory pillow. Now, what this is when I do a lot of my men's shirt resizing projects, a lot of the emails that I get comments from, I have some dear friends that are my subscribers that I've gotten pretty close to, and they've talked about how they are wanting to downsize their husband's shirts because their husband had passed away and it's their way to hold on to them. And so I just kind of thought about this, and you know, I've done resizing of men's shirts, so I wanted to do memory pillows, and it's just a quick, easy project. It's also a good Christmas present. Anything that is like memorabilia, a shirt that means a lot to somebody but they can no longer wear, and especially when you've lost a loved one and you've held on to some of their items, you can make them into memory pillows, put them on your bed, and then they're with you all the time. And so I made one memory pillow. This is a men's shirt, and as you can see, this is a simple project. This is a sewing project for beginners, and it has the button placket right down the center. So they are so quick and easy. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, for the sake of this project, I'm just using one of my old flannel shirts because I love flannel. And for me, I just love to cuddle up to a flannel item. Flannel is my favorite fabric. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut up this one, and this is what I'm gonna be making my pillow out of. Okay, and for this project, I'm just gonna be using an old beat up pillow from, I've been using the stuffing for other projects, but I never throw away pillows. So I have this nice, squishy, soft pillow, which is not attractive at all. I'm gonna be using this as the base for my pillow, and I'm gonna be covering it with this flannel shirt. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the first thing we're gonna wanna do is, I got my pillow here. You're gonna wanna measure the pillow. Now, you might think, well, why don't I just trace the pillow right onto the shirt? Well, pillows aren't flat, so you don't know how much space it's gonna take. If you just cut around a pillow, then it's gonna be really tight because, like I said, your pillow's not flat. It's got some body to it. So you need to actually physically measure your pillow. And so I'm gonna measure it. It is 18 by 18. I'm gonna get my shirt. And to make sure you've ironed your shirt so your shirt is nice and flat and wrinkle free. I did not iron this one, but it's not too bad as far as wrinkles. I'm having this facing you so that you can see. Okay, I've got it on a cutting mat. Okay, laying it out nice and flat, making sure all the wrinkles are out from underneath. Okay, arms out. There we go. Now I'm gonna measure 18 by 18. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut straight across the bottom because, see, it's a curved bottom hem, and I don't want any curves in my pillow. So I'm just gonna cut straight across from one side to the other to take that off. Okay. So now I have a straight, not actually, it doesn't look very straight, but at least I have a straight bottom without that curved hem at the bottom. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, so I cut off the bottom. I'm gonna measure up a little ways. Let me see what 18 inches looks like. It comes up to there. Okay, so I'm gonna measure 18 inches up. I didn't measure it all the way to the bottom because I'm gonna straighten that up a little bit. So since my shirt is stripes, I just picked a stripe and I'm starting from that stripe. So I'm measuring up 18 inches and I'm making a mark. Okay, and I'll make a mark where I started down here. Okay, so I got marks right here and I got marks right here. I kind of follow the stripes to a certain extent. So I know from here to here, that's 18 inches. Now I gotta figure out, I may as well measure from over here too, using that same stripe. Measure up 18. It is gonna land on the same stripe, so that's fine. 18. Mark the beginning. Okay, so I know how tall my shirt's gonna be, 18 inches. I measured in 2 spots so I'll be able to draw a straight line. Now I gotta figure out how wide, and half of 18 is 9, so I'm putting the 9 for my ruler right on the center of my button line. And the reason I'm doing that is this placket with buttons on it is gonna be the center of the pillow. So I'm putting my 9 right on the center of that, hold it in place, and I'm gonna mark at the end of the ruler there, and then to 18 inches over here. So now I know 18 inches this way and 18 inches this way. Now I'm gonna get another ruler that I can draw a straight line with. Okay, I'm gonna draw a line. And you can do this inside out if you're needing to use something other than chalk. The chalk rubs right off with a wet cloth, so I'm not worried about it. But the reason I'm doing it inside right is I wanted to see the buttons. And I know on the other side you can see the sewing of the buttons, but I just wanted to be able to see the buttons just so I can still picture what the pillow is going to look like. Now I need to draw it down the sides. Now we just cut out on our line. You can give a little bit of, especially if you're brand new to sewing, you can give a little bit of seam allowance in case you have, just for room for air, because you can always make it smaller, you can't make it bigger. So I'm just gonna cut slightly outside the lines, maybe 1/4 of an inch is all, because I'm not gonna use much seam allowance and I want the pillow to fit nice and snug. Not too snug, but I want it to fit nice and tight, not baggy. So I'm just barely, maybe 1/4 of an inch all the way around. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut out along my line. Okay, there we go. A little bit. Yeah, my seam allowance a little too big up here. Okay, now you can kind of see where we're going with this now. Your pillow is gonna be sitting right inside. And the nice thing is that we have our buttons to be able to get into the pillow to put our pillow in. We don't, so we get to close it all completely up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna undo one button just so I have access to it. So I'm undoing one button. I'm gonna flip these so that right sides are touching. This is the right side of the fabric, and I'm putting the right side of the fabric there. So both of the right sides of the fabric are touching each other. We're looking at the wrong side. And this is why you want to iron your stuff before, because I got some wrinkles. Now, let's line everything up and pin it together. Okay, now that I have it all pinned up and I have my little opening because I have that one button unbuttoned, I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and I'm just going to do a zigzag stitch all the way around the border with my 1/4 inch seam allowance or whatever seam allowance you've allowed for it. And this is so easy. So let's go ahead and take this to the sewing machine real quick. Okay, I have my sewing machine set to do a zigzag stitch. You can basically start at any corner that you want because you're just doing all the way around the border of your pillow. And so I'm gonna go ahead and start at this corner. I always leave my needle in the down position so that when I get to a corner, I can do a pivot. And you can back stitch. I do a fixed stitch, but you can do a back stitch or whatever your sewing machine requires at the beginning. Make sure the needles are not in the way, your pins. And you're just going to do a zigzag stitch all the way around. Okay, right here, I have a little bit of a seam from the armpit. Just make sure you push it flat because you don't want that standing up like that. Just push it flat and just keep sewing right over it. Bury my needle and I pivot. See, since the needle is down in there, my fabric isn't going to fall out. I have the needle in down position. I can just turn it. Now I can go down the other side doing the same thing. And now I'm down at the end, big stitch or back stitch. Make sure all my needles are out. I didn't remove all of them because some of them were not in the path of my sewing. So, okay, all the needles are out. And let's take a look. Okay, now we're gonna want to turn it inside right. We have that little button that left it open. You can trim off your corners if you have your corners have too much fabric. You can trim, just don't cut through your stitch line. But you know, when you have a point on the corner, you can just chop that point off. Reduces bulk when you're flipping it around. I didn't have much on. Okay. Turn it inside right. You can undo a few more buttons. And the nice thing about this is that you can practice on other shirts. Go to the Goodwill, buy a couple of men's shirts and practice first. You don't want to have your first pillow be made out of that one shirt that means so much to you. Make a couple first with some thrifted shirts so that you got it down, you know what to expect, and you can make it without having to worry about damaging, you know, and doing it wrong with the shirt that means so much, and then you have to figure out something else to do with that shirt. So let's go ahead. That's what's nice about this. There's my button opening. So my pillow goes right in there. So let me go ahead and put that in. Okay. Put the pillow in here. You saw how bad a shape this pillow's in. This pillow's got more stuffing in some areas and not in the others. And you can always add more stuffing if you need to. My pillow's pretty flat, but it's a comfy pillow. Now that I have it in there, I just have to button up the shirt. Once you've buttoned up the shirt, you can kind of squish your pillow around to make it fit nice and smooth. Perfect. My pillow's a quite lumpy pillow, but like I said, it's a comfy pillow. This is gonna be my cuddle up and watch TV pillow. Voila, that's all there is to it. Anytime you want to wash the pillow, you unbutton your shirt and you take the pillow out. Or if you want to wash the cover on it, whatever you want to do, you have easy access to the pillow. Okay, so this was a quick and easy sewing project, but it just came to me after reading some of the emails that I get in regards to my men's shirt refashions or downsizing of men's shirts, How many of you are looking for projects because you've held on to clothing that belongs to a loved one that means so much to you, and you're looking for a way to wear it? Well, here's a way to wear it with you at night, every night. I mean, oh, I love flannel, and if the shirt has some sentimental value to you, you know, what better use to do with those shirts than to make them into pillows to put on your bed, or to put in your reading room so you can cuddle up with it while you're reading a book. And the nice thing is this has the pocket, and it has a pocket. I don't have my reading glasses up here with me, so I'm gonna use my sunglasses. So you can put your reading glasses in there, and it's ready to go. Oops, it's caught. So you can put your reading glasses in there, and your TV remote, or your prayer cards, or your rosary, or whatever it is that you have, that you use when you're relaxing, either watching TV or getting into bed. You have your pocket from the shirt that holds everything. So I love doing pillows. I've done a lot of pillows, and I love doing men's shirt refashions. I've done a lot of those too. So I'm hoping that you take advantage of this project. It's so simple. Any beginner sewer can do it. It also, if you have a young teen that's looking at wanting to start sewing, then what greater project than to let her make a pillow out of maybe a shirt that she's outgrown, that she really loves and she wants to hold on to, or that has, some type of sentimental value to it. Have your teenager or your child make a pillow. It's simply the only sewing that's required is cutting or sewing around the borders. That's it. And then your opening is your placket. So I'm gonna quit babbling on, but I just wanted to share this project with you. I know it's a quick and easy project, but sometimes quick and easy projects are what we need during the holidays. But don't forget to practice on a thrifted shirt before you cut into the shirt that means so much to you. I can't stress that enough. Practice, practice, practice with a shirt that doesn't mean anything to you, and then make your pillow. Okay, well, this is Amy with Fashion Toppings. Until next time, you have a great day.